In the summer of 1845, two ships sailed north to finish the map of the world. Neither was ever seen by European eyes again. They left England to cheering crowds, 129 men, and a certainty that they would return. Their commander was Sir John Franklin, 59 years old and famous. On an earlier expedition, he had nearly starved to death and eaten his own boots to survive. His two ships had already survived Antarctica. Now they were rebuilt to break ice. Ironclad bows, steam engines lifted from the railways, cabins warmed by hot water. They carried 3 years of food, sealed in more than 8,000 tins. A new technology the Navy trusted completely. That trust would matter more than anyone knew. In late July, 2 whaling ships met them in Baffin Bay, moored to an iceberg, waiting for the way west to open. It was the last time anyone outside the expedition would see them alive. Somewhere ahead lay the last unmapped stretch of the Northwest Passage, a single blank space left on the map of the world. Franklin steered his ships straight into it. In September 1846, off King William Island, the ice closed around both ships. They waited for the summer thaw to free them. It never came. Winter in the high Arctic means months without sun and a cold that can crack steel. They endured one such winter, locked in the ice. Then another. And still the ice held. Years later, searchers found a single sheet of paper beneath a cairn of stones. In the middle, dated 1847, 4 words, "All well." Around the margin, a second message, scrawled a year later, told a very different story. The survivors, more than 100 men, abandoned the ships and set out on foot for a river 1,000 miles away. Weakened, freezing and starving, they hauled lifeboats, loaded with silver cutlery and books. None of them reached safety. When no word came, the Navy waited. His wife, Lady Jane Franklin, would not. She spent a fortune and a decade sending ship after ship into the ice to find him. It was not a Navy captain who found the answer, but a Scottish doctor named John Ray. He did something the Navy would not. He listened to the Inuit who had watched the men die. Ray reported that the last men, starving, had turned to the only food left to them, each other. Victorian England was horrified. Rather than accept it, they attacked Ray and dismissed the Inuit as unreliable. Both had told the truth. A century later, science examined their remains. My Rumdas Azamfuni. A century later examined their remains. Starvation and scurvy had done much of the killing, but so, perhaps, had the tins themselves and the ship's own water. The technology they trusted may have been poisoning them from the first. And then, in 2014, searchers guided by Inuit oral history found HMS Erebus on the seabed, upright, almost whole. 2 years later, they found terror. The stories passed down for 160 years had been right all along. They went because the map was not yet finished, and because some part of us has always needed to know what lies beyond the edge of the known. 129 men paid for that answer. The least we owe them is to remember why they went.